$4 million. $4 million in Hollywood, we're not talking about a house. $4 million in Hollywood, we're not necessarily talking about a movie. $4 million in Hollywood, we're talking about a bar mitzvah. The average cost of a bar mitzvah in Hollywood is $1 million. The price bracket of a bar mitzvah in Hollywood is $50,000 to $4 million. There's many reasons why it costs that much. However, none of those reasons have anything to do with the ceremony itself. For example, Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey was one of the guests asked to attend a bar mitzvah. Venues is another reason why bar mitzvahs are so expensive. For example, Dodger Stadium was one of the venues discussed as having a bar mitzvah. Renting out an entire cruise was one of the examples given for a bar mitzvah. The Swiss Alps was one of the examples of a bar mitzvah. A bar mitzvah is intended for a young man to show the Jewish community that he's come of age. And it's also for the Jewish community to say, hey, we accept you. We are ready to accept you, young man, in our community. I'm going to talk to you about 3 points. The first point being the history of the bar mitzvah. Was it 13 in the beginning? The second thing I want to talk to you about is the meaning of the bar mitzvah. What does bar mitzvah actually mean in Hebrew? And lastly, I'm going to talk to you how bar mitzvah has actually changed from its beginning stages to now $4 million. First, the history of the bar mitzvah. Initially, a bar mitzvah was given to a young man that was 20 years old. The reason being, it signified 2 things. It signified when he can enter and fight for his country or fight in a war, and it signified when he could be taxed. However, in the Talmudic stages, it was changed to 13 to signify a son coming of age. There was no specific reason as to why it was changed to 13 other than because a young man became of age and that's what age they wanted to be. The second thing I wanted to discuss with you is I want to discuss with you the actual meaning of bar mitzvah. Bar mitzvah means coming of age, and it was actually supposed to describe the individual, not the ceremony like it is today. Bar means son. Mitzvah means commandment or law. So you would have son of commandment or son of law, meaning when he comes of age, he is now a son of the Most High, the son of law, or son of commandment. It's different now because earlier a young man would be able to serve in a church before the ages of 13. But the difference between 13 and younger serving in the church and 13 and older serving in the church is if they served in the church at 13 or younger, they did it because they wanted to. They did it because that was something that they were led to do, to participate in the church. When they served at 13 and older, it was because it was their duty in God's law. It was their duty to serve church. Finally, we're going to talk about how it's changed from then to now. As discussed, they didn't have all the glitz and glamour in the bar mitzvah. It was yet a ceremony, but it was more about the young man coming of age to God than who showed up at your bar mitzvah. That's the biggest change. It takes sometimes 2 to 3 years to plan a bar mitzvah. And whereas I understand the importance is taking that long, but most of them do it because they're trying to fight over certain venues that they all use. Friendships have ended over bar mitzvahs amongst parents. That's what the bar mitzvah has come to. In conclusion, we talked about 3 things. The first thing we talked about was the history of bar mitzvah. The second thing we talked about was the meaning of bar mitzvah. And the third thing we talked about was how bar mitzvah has changed from its earlier stages to now. Over many years, bar mitzvahs have changed and marked when a young man comes of age. Deuteronomy 1:39 states, "As for your little ones, who you said will become a prey, and your children, who today have knowledge of good or evil, they shall go in there, and to them I will give it, and they shall possess it."